Hey everybody, it's Jen, and today's question is about the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me at a book signing or a public speaking event. And if you had asked me this question 3 weeks ago, I would have said I've never had a weird event. People are awesome usually. People are really cool. Sometimes if I do sort of a library event, maybe a public library event where people have wandered in off the street and they're like, oh, what's this? New York Times bestseller. Ooh, maybe we should go listen to her mother. I'm sure she might teach us something. And then they get there and they find out that I dropped the F bomb like a comma. And then they're like, oh my, no. And they leave, but they always leave quietly. Like they just shuffle out the back and we never hear from them again. And it's fine. But a couple weeks ago, I had an event in Florida, and I had an incident, let's say. We'll call it an incident. So I'm giving my speech, and you know, at this point I've given this speech probably 100 times. If you have heard me speak in Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Madison, New Jersey, or Austin, Texas, you have heard the speech. It's the same speech everywhere I go. And I've been on tour for working with people I want to punch in the throat, and I give this speech at every stop. And it's a speech about how I got started as a writer and how I went from a blogger with 70 readers to a New York Times bestselling author with over 1 million followers on social media. And it's this, you know, just this regular old speech or whatever. And most of the events have been very casual. Like I'll speak at somebody's book club and I'll hang out in their living room and we'll hang out there, or I go to the bar, or I go to a boutique or something like that. But some of the events have been corporate events where I've been invited in to speak at a corporate gathering. And a lot of times, then the speech is a little bit different. I usually work in sort of whatever theme they have going on. I can tone down the mouth if I have to, and so I do that a lot. And I'm a little bit more professional at those events than I am at my more casual events. And so Florida, though, was a little bit different. Florida was kind of a hybrid. I was brought in by a woman who is in she's in the wedding industry. And she partnered with another vendor in the wedding industry, and they put on this event together. And it was a really classy, really nice event. And it had the attendees were all either their colleagues or their clients or potential clients. And so it wasn't just sort of, you know, wandering in off the street and not quite sure what you're getting into. And so somehow everybody was connected to my two hosts. And the night was a great night. It was a beautiful space. It was a fabulous crowd. Like everybody's laughing their asses off. We're having a lot of fun. And I had been told that I could just, you know, you do you, Jen, like be yourself. And so I'm, you know, doing my normal spiel and I'm having a great time. And at the end, I always ask if anybody has any questions. And so the first hand that goes up is a woman in the back of the room, and she raises her hand. And when I call on her, as soon as I call on her, I realize that she's crying. And, you know, the thing is that sometimes people do cry. They do. I know that when you find my book, I should say, when you find my books or my writings, not everyone's in a great place when they find me. They might be depressed. They might be feeling bad about themselves. I hear a lot of people who read my stuff while they're in hospital waiting rooms, while family members are getting procedures done. I hear a lot of people who read my books out loud while they're getting chemotherapy. So, you know, I've had people cry before, but usually it's in private. Usually they take me aside at the end and sort of tell me what had been troubling them when they found me. A lot of times we cry together, you know, but I've never had anyone do it in public like that. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, ooh, okay, like, you know, let's keep it like let's not get it like be respectful, but like don't like let it get too downer. And you know, it's like I'm trying to have like this moment or whatever where I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to handle this. And silly me. And so because she raises her hand and she says, I just feel like I have to say something because I have something that's on my heart, and it's been on my heart all night. It's been on my heart all night, and I need to say it. I have to get it off my chest. And so she's like, tonight has been so, and I'm waiting for her to say, amazing. Tonight has been just what I needed. I needed to laugh. I've had a terrible week and I needed this. Thank you for making me laugh. Thanks for everyone coming out and laughing with me. You know, something like that. Stupid, stupid me. That's what I'm thinking she's going to say. And instead, she says, this has been so negative. Just negative. And she goes on a rampage that I'm a man basher, that I was negative, and honestly, I don't even remember it all, because here's the thing. Like, I have a reptile brain. Like, that's what I have. And so my brain was instantly ready to like, grr, like I just wanted to fight, because that's what I do. You know, I wanted to tell her that absolutely not. Was tonight negative, and am I a man basher? And, you know, and I wanted to really like, but the thing is that the other side of my brain, the good side of my brain, is sort of like, no, keep it cool, Jen. This is a classy event. Like these people, they've hosted you, and you don't know how they're connected to these people in the room. Like, she could be a potential client to somebody. She could be somebody important, and you're going to like burn this thing to the ground just because your feelings are hurt. Like, really? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to do that? And so I was like, no, I can't do that. Plus, the other thing is too, is I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better about listening, because I feel like I do just fly off the handle, and I do resort straight to anger and defensiveness. And so I'm trying to do better with like listening, and I'm thinking to myself, like, maybe she can teach me something. Like, maybe she can educate me and help me see where I went off track. But then the other side of my brain is like, no, fuck that. Like, you've given this speech 100 times and nobody has ever told you that it was negative or that you're a man basher. And maybe if she'd actually fucking listened to what you said, she would know that you're not, because that's not what you said. And so but I can't, none of this is coming out of my mouth. I'm just watching her and listening to her. And it was something about, you know, she's raised good Christian sons who can't get into college now because girls are taking their space, and her husband is so good, and so he works so hard and takes such good care of them. And I was like, blah, like, enough already. Because, you know, here's the thing, like, I've seen these women before on my comment section of my blog, and these are the same women who love to give virtual blowjobs on social media. They're the ones who get out there and tell us how great their husbands are, that, you know, he emptied the dishwasher once this month without being asked, and he's such a solid provider, and he's so good for us, and he's so amazing. And here's the thing, my husband's amazing too, but I don't give him virtual blowjobs, and he definitely does not get one for emptying the dishwasher. You know what I mean? Like, and if she had listened to my speech at all, she would know that I said that in my speech. I talk a lot about my husband, and I talk a lot about how I would not be where I am today without him and his pushing me and his support of me and believing in me. There are days, every day, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm done. Like, I have nothing more to say. And he's like, no, you don't. Get back out there. So don't tell me that I'm bashing men. Am I all about girl power? Fuck yeah, I'm about girl power. Because here's the thing. You know what? Girl power is not about man bashing. And that's the part she needs to understand. All I want is equality. I just want the same for everybody. My son is a great kid, and he is going to be a great man. Not because I've raised him so amazingly or whatever. It's just because I just know, like, he's a good kid, and that's fine. And I'm sure her kids are good kids too. But the difference is that as boys, they already have a leg up over my daughter. And that is what I want to try and change. And I want my daughter to be just as strong, just as confident as my son already is. And so that's what I'm talking about. But she was too busy and too caught up in her own little world to even know what the fuck I was talking about. She made up her mind early on that she was going to say something, that she was going to have her moment. And I was torn because I did not want to ruin that night. I looked around the room and I could tell already that people were super uncomfortable with what she was saying, and the fact that she was even saying it, that this confrontation was happening, and I could not add to that confrontation and really ruin the night. I saw people, you know, half the room left and went to the bar, and the other half of the room were like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's happening. And I get that. I totally get that. And I did not want to just tell her to shut the fuck up and sit down, which is really what I wanted to do, and tell her that maybe she should listen closer next time and stop clutching her pearls so hard, because maybe then she'd hear what I was saying. But I just let her talk. I just let her talk for a while. And I should not have done that either. I took too long to shut her down, and I should have shut her down sooner. And in the future, I will be sure to do that. Thank you for teaching me that, ma'am. And the other thing I'd like to say to you is, why? Why did you do that? Why did you feel the need to come to that really nice event that was put on by your friends and suck the air out of the room? I mean, that's what you did. You pulled everybody into your drama, into your mess, and nobody wanted to be there. You came to a nice place and you walked in the door and you shit on the rug. Like, that's what you did. You opened your mouth and made the whole night about you and what you feel and how you interpreted things, and you are wrong. You did not listen and you did not comprehend. And so instead, you just snapped to a judgment and you opened your mouth and spoke in anger. And guess what? I kind of understand that. But here's the thing. Next time, you need to keep your mouth shut and think to yourself, am I really going to say this out loud? Is this really something I should be saying? The other thing you should do the next time you go to an event like that is you should probably Google where you're going. You had no idea what you were walking into that night. And one simple internet search would have told you that I am not your people and that you should not have come to my event. You would have known immediately that I was not for you because you have a stick up your ass so far you don't know how to laugh. And this was not a night for you. The other thing you should do is you should put down the fucking booze. You are drunk off your ass. And drunk people like to confront other people. If you had been sober, my guess is you would not have said those things to me, but you let the booze do the talking. Next time, don't get drunk, and then maybe you won't make an ass of yourself. And the other thing is, you should have left. That woman stayed all night long. She went around that party and talked to everyone there but me. She stood 5 feet from me at all times with her back firmly to me, letting me know that yes, she's in my space, but I am not worthy of her. And I get that. I see you. I hear you. I understand. But you know what? Every other person at that party came up to me and apologized on your behalf. They all told me how embarrassed they were. They all told me how they couldn't believe that you did what you did. They were shocked and they were appalled by you and your behavior. So think about that next time you go out with these people. They don't like you. And nobody likes you. And maybe you should know that. I don't know. Maybe I'm being rude about it now, but I feel like you should probably know. You are a mean drunk. You're, well, not even a mean drunk. You're just a sloppy drunk. You're a crying, sloppy drunk who feels like you need to tell everybody what you think about stuff. And I did not care for your opinion. I did not want to hear it that night. I did not need to hear it that night. Even if you had taken me aside and privately told me what you thought, it would have gone better. Or if you had taken the hosts aside and told them what you thought, it would have gone better. But you need to know what you sign up for. You're a grown-ass adult. Nobody was keeping you there, obviously, because you stayed all night and drank more. But I'm just saying, nobody told you you had to come that night. You did not need to come. You should have known what you were getting into, and you should have probably stayed home.